I like your take on boobies. And I like boobies.
It's Madden NFL 24, and we're going to look here at All-Pro Devontae Adams. He went well over 100 yards a week ago and found his way to the end zone. It's the Raiders and the Chargers, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 24.
We are just a couple miles east of the LAX airport, just off the 405 or the 105 at the beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Today it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the LA Chargers. Hi, everybody. Brandon Gordon alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Which of these 0-3 teams will visit the win column for the first time? We'll see. We're underway here in week 4. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So the Charger offense making its way out, and at the controls is the league's second leading passer a year ago. At 25 years of age, out of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
And it's funny how we always talk about how analytics are starting to creep into the game. One analytic that's been there for a long time, teams that start 0-3 usually don't make the playoffs. So we know one quarterback today that's determined to end that slide right now. It's not impossible, but this is a must-win for him and his team.
And that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. It's Eckler again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down. This is a counter play, Eckler, and not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. You look at this Raiders defense. They're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
That was a nice play right there, but overall this season, it's been an absolute disaster. A total lack of communication on the back end. They need a leader who can put this team, this unit, on his shoulder pads and carry them to the right spots.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 27-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards. So the completion there, Charles, looking at this defense, certainly in for a tough task here this afternoon. What are some of the keys for them if they want to come out on top?
Well, the first thing, partner, is...
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Tyree Wilson using that athletic ability to make the play.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they got to find a way to get it back together.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, It's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
And the Chargers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
Eckler again. Trying to find a lane, but he finds nothing but defenders. Stop for no gain at the 2-yard line. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. They lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down. And his kick is indeed good, and the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Now, after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Raiders offense heading out with their new man under center for 2023, the former Patriot, former 49er, Jimmy Garoppolo.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. But if he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. He's got Renfro on the out route. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a 1st down. First carry for the all-pro running back, it's Josh Jacobs. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. Stiff-armed him. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
So 2 1st downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. That's to the rookie from Notre Dame, Michael Mayer. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play.
And Notre Dame seems to be turning into tight end U. And they just seem to churn out those reliable chain-moving pass catchers. And Mayer, one of the best in that line. Las Vegas, fortunate to get him in round 2 and plug him in as a starter.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. 17 carries, 68 yards.
And I know that last week's game is over, but this feels almost like a continuation of what he did in the previous game. It's almost as if in his mind he knitted together the 2 weeks with no break. He's off to a nice start here.
Now Garoppolo. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 28. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Raiders had 0-3 here to begin the campaign. And you hate to have to say it this early in the season, but getting close to must-win time, is it not?
And I totally understand why you expressed it that way, because it's so early in the season, it feels like hyperbole. But I think you are spot on this one. Yes, there's still time to turn things around, but they've got to start to win right now if they have any hopes of trying to make the playoffs.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Garoppolo. Over the middle, complete. That's Adams. And he is going to have the Raiders' first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I like the play call. Go to the play action, see if you can sneak your tight end out there and find him open in the end zone.
And just defensively, they weren't fooled and able to bat it away. This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. On play action, it's Garoppolo. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. And now that brings up 4th down there. A loss of 6 yards on the sack. So this defense, they gave up some yards on this drive, but bottom line, they came up with a sack when it mattered.
And we know that every down counts, but let's be honest about it. People focus on 3rd down as a real key down in any drive, any situation. And they took full advantage of 3rd down there and made a play.
So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the 2nd drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Go a little tennis on me,
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the serve? What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
A really good backhand.
Get some nice top spin on the
a
whole
little
thing.
bit.
I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away. They've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
16 yards right off the bat with a first down. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Back to throw here, Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 36. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
Running on first down, Eckler. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Quincy Roche coming in for that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
Herbert. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And this one is right down the middle. That kick, by the way, Charles, a career long.
Well, we did watch him in pregame, and he hit from this distance, so not a surprise. But there still is something exciting about it, carrying it over from practice and pregame to actually doing it in live action.
So all field goals so far, 6-3-yard score as the kick is away. Hunter Renfrow to return it from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Hooked up by Deion Henry. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing, maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put it into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. From his end zone, here's Renfrow. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look
look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. Nifty move. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 42 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Deion Henley. And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. That's caught right side by Palmer. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down, L.A.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside. He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
To the air again, Herbert. A little short pass. This is Everett. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 13-yard line. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another 1st. The Chargers going to signal for the 1st of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Herbert now. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, LA. Darius Davis with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Chargers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Dicker down to tack on the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. Oh, they intercept Garoppolo for the third time. And he is going to bring this the 20 to the 18-yard line. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Herbert. And it's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Gerald Everett, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to add on to their first half lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point try now from Dicker. And the lead is now 24. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Caught by Mayer. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. And the rookie Darius Davis deep for the Chargers. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a 1st down. Roughing, it is a 1st.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
A final shot before break. O'Connell. And that's too tall for his receiver. It's incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports Halftime Report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as we say goodbye to September and take a look around the NFL here on this first day of October. We'll begin out in the windy city of Chicago, where you see the final score there. Russell Wilson, excellent in the victory as his guys moved to 3-1 after 4 games. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. 2 touchdown passes there for Brock Purdy. Finally, we'll save the biggest for last as we head to AT&T Stadium to see what's happening with the Cowboys at home in Arlington. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. The Pats locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. We're accustomed to seeing strong quarterback play. We got that in the first half from Justin Herbert.
He came on after a slow start to fire 2 second-quarter touchdown passes and give his guys.
Let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
From his end zone, here's Renfro. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
It's a big play there for Vegas. 46 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Here's O'Connell looking to throw it. Open man is Myers. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And O'Connell now to throw. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. Still in search of their 1st touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's O'Connell. And this one is incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And Davis content just to bring this out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Chargers to take over. They are trying to snap that 3-game losing streak, on top so far with the football here, 1st and 10. Herbert with it, looking to pass. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. On 2nd down, Eckler. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Hey, Catholic.
Now it's Herbert. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Let's go.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. Eckler, they run left side. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The throw over the middle, taken in, and all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Gerald Everett with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Chargers are able to extend their lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Dicker down, attack on the extra point. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. The Raiders offense coming back out onto the field. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a 1-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
71 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining. He had his mind made up on that one. He disagrees, and he'll throw the challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the decision to throw out that challenge flag, a good one, is they'll get credited with a completion. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Room here to run. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one 28 yards on the ground. They've done a pretty good job containing him up until this drive, and until that run, there was no containing him at all.
Yeah, you're right about that. He finally popped free. But we didn't have to be in their practice sessions. We didn't have to be in their meeting rooms. They planned for a run like that to happen, maybe a couple of them. But what did they tell their guys all week? You know what they said. Move on to the next play. That one just happened. Let it go.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan.
The passing game's been scored a little bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
And it'll be intercepted. And the Chargers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So still no touchdowns allowed by this defense. They get the interception there. CD, they have been rock solid.
And at this point, I think they have to expect that they're going to see some shots taken down the field. And that was almost a desperation throw right there, just kind of hoping something good can happen, a completion, a pass interference. But this was anticipated well, and they came up with the INT.
The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. Big strides. Look at him go. Touchdown, LA. Gerald Everett, 75 yards. And the Chargers have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out come the Raiders. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And how about the quick feet there as he made a man miss on his way to a solid gain of 7.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we play. Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. 125 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that's complete to Adams. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one goes for 24 yards. O'Connell looking to throw on 1st. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Quick throw caught on one by Renfro. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. This offense so far on 3rd down, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
But forget knowing where the 1st down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football. And
oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on fourth down. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And the safety, Trayvon Merrick, up to make the play defensively. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He'll air this one out deep for Davis. And it's intercepted. And some room to maneuver. Now he's free to midfield. And he'll get this back across the midfield, striping down to the 47-yard line. Passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. To the right side, here's Mayer. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it's 2nd down. Now it's O'Connell. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the Chargers are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10 at the 40. They started on the ground with Eckler, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And Eckler is going to pick up a Chargers 1st down as he's across midfield to the 48. Palmer going to go in motion left. Now they'll fake the jet sweep and give it instead to Eckler. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. It's Eckler again. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And running with power here. 71 yards on the ground for Eckler here, and that's a 1st down. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Let's go.
Up the middle with Eckler. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. They're going to go toss right side with Eckler. Pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. And hold on here was on that last run, and looks like we have a player who was shaken up. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Eckler is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Back to throw here, Herbert. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. To throw here, O'Connell. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Sebastian Joseph Day able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And they go play action here with O'Connell. Under pressure, they got him again. Dayon Henley in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the 1st sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a 1st down.
Sit down.
Once more, here's Eckler. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out ready to send it away. From his end zone, here's Renfro. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Here's O'Connell again on 2nd and 10. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Off the play fake. O'Connell. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So this one's over. It's in the win column for the LA Chargers. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Chargers, it took a few weeks, but they finally get their first win of the season here in Week 4. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Las Vegas, they'll sink now to 0-4, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.